Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, my name is Elizabeth and this is The Joyful Sojourn, a place where we love talking about stationery, sharing life, doing things creatively in our planners and journals. And if that sounds like it's up your alley, then I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. Today, we are unboxing my order from the spring 2025 launch from Archer and Olive. If you don't know this, I am an ambassador for Archer and Olive, but I am also a customer. And I did do a preview on my channel of some of the items they sent me, but I also purchased some items, and that's what we're going to unbox today. And I feel like I blacked out. I don't remember everything that I purchased, so I think this will be a quick video, but we'll see. Hopefully you'll see some familiar items. Maybe you pick something up, or maybe you missed something and you might want to grab what I got. It seemed like I shopped within the first like half hour, just because I'm that person that like gets ready with my shopping list. And the A5 journals and a couple of the designs, I need to remove my invoice out of the way. Sold out within maybe the first half hour. And there are still a ton of items on the website. So if you missed something, you can go back. My discount code for you guys is Joyful10 if you want to save 10% off of your purchase. And that's good on sale items as well. So remember Joyful10, and I will leave my affiliate link in the description box. What was exciting about this launch for me, it was not only were there 4 new designs and then corresponding stickers, pens, stamps, etc. Oh, dang it. You guys know I like to swatch stamps, and my swatch book is actually in the house right now. Let me think about how I can swatch this for you. Maybe I just won't do it in my swatch book for this, but I'll do it somewhere else. So you can see what the stamps look like. Oh my gosh, so many good things. So what I was saying, what excited me about this release was that they also did some restocks, and I picked up some restock items as well. So there are 3 new spring things, including this heirloom journal, which I've never had the heirloom journal before. I'm very excited to see this. I know a lot of you have been curious about it, but have never purchased it. It's probably one of the most expensive items on the website whenever they release it, which is usually once or twice a year. And it's gorgeous. It's a large, it's letter sized, but it is in landscape mode. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. Let's start with, should have been more prepared. So let's start with the restock items, because those are things that maybe you've seen before. So this is a restock item that is new. This, I'm excited for this. This is actually a current item on the website that might be on sale still, because this was from a previous release. So we'll do kind of the older things. They restocked the Winterscapes Calligraph pens, which I did not have. So, and you can actually see a difference in the packaging. When they restock, I think this is their now like default look of their boxes, this deep turquoise or teal packaging with the like classic florals, the Archer and Olive florals. So you can see these are restock items. And then this was actually in the fall collection, the Attic Treasures collection. And then this is everything in the spring launch. So all of the boxes have the lily pad pattern, but the greens are slightly different. I don't know if you're able to see that on camera, but each collection has slightly a different like green or like neutral tone. So let's start with the items I picked up that are restocks or from previous releases. And let me get a piece of notepad ready. Let's start with the pens, actually. Let's start with this notebook, and I'll tell you why I got it. So first of all, I'm a big swatch person. If you're someone that collects stationery supplies like paints, pens, stamps, stencils, washi tape, anything like that, if you want to level up your hobby, start swatch books for all the items. I have a swatch book for stamps and stencils. I have a swatch book for pens, but I wanted to start a swatch book that was specifically Archer and Olive collections and Archer and Olive pens. I don't have my Archer and Olive pens in the pen swatch book, just because I've been putting it off because they're more work. Like the acrylographs take a little bit of work with the paint pen situation. And the Archer and Olive Instagram account showed a reel swatching out pens that were releasing in the Beneath the Willows collection, and they were doing it in a traveler's notebook. And I even commented on that reel like, oh my gosh, now I want all of my Archer and Olive pens and items to be swatched in a traveler's notebook, Archer and Olive notebook. So that's what I purchased this for. And to do a swatch book, I would recommend picking maybe a notebook that has a design on it that will recall your memory of what's inside. I also put a video out on the Archer and Olive channel about creating like a custom label on my swatch books. And that's another good thing that you can do if you want to label it. But I would also look at the sale or like previously released notebooks if you're going to use it for a swatch book, and maybe you care a little bit less about what the design is, then you can get a good deal on a notebook. If it's on sale and you use Joyful 10, you can get an additional 10% off, and you get a notebook for swatching, and that's like your collections pages for your supplies. So I picked up the Vintage Camera, and I actually have this notebook in the A5. I bought it when Attic Treasures came out. And I actually just like how neutral it is. It's the buckram material, and then it has a Vintage Camera debossed on the front. And I just thought this would be a really fun, neutral, accessible, like grab it and go. Like it's a snapshot, capturing a snapshot of the collections from Archer and Olive. That was like the way that I was processing through, ooh, what traveler's notebook would I use for swatches? And I thought the snapshot one was a good one. Is it called Snapshot or Vintage Camera? I think it's Vintage Camera. Oh, and they're saying it's vintage. It's the vegan leather. So vegan leather. And actually, now that I know they're calling this the vegan leather, I am positive then that the notebook, which you've probably already seen in another video of mine that's in the sub box, that's the Nature's Curiosities Traveler's Notebook, it is also vegan leather, because this has, it has the look of like a cotton or a linen, but they're calling it vegan leather. So it looks like it's stamped maybe to look like fabric, but it's not. So this is the Vintage Camera, and look how it has the film strips on the inside. I think that's so rad. We've got 2 gray bookmarks, and the ampersand, the weighted charm at the end, is gold. We've got a pocket in the back, pretty standard. If I can get it open, and the pen loop. So this is going to be my new collections for Archer and Olive pens. And I might do washi too. Like if I get washi as, that's like part of the pen set, I'll do that as well here. So that's what I bought this for. Again, this is from the Attic Treasures, which I think was fall, right? Yeah, fall 2024 collection. Definitely go back and see if there's some items from the fall that are on sale that you could use for a swatch book. I'm not going to use this right now to swatch these because I want to think about how I'm going to format this notebook. So I don't want to do anything hasty today. So we're going to use my list pad from Archer and Olive. So I picked up the Winterscapes calligraphs. So these are the, I guess these were from the winter collection, and I didn't get them. So when they restocked, they sold out really fast. And since they restocked, I had to have them. I prefer the calligraphs to the acrylographs just because they're so useful. Like they are water-based pens. They are not paint pens. They're double-sided. So you have the, oh, you know what's not in here? The colors. Are they labeled? They're not labeled. I'm going to have to be creative with my labeling. I do have a label maker, which is fine. I wonder if that's true for just this box, or if like if mine's missing, or if the restock doesn't have the labels. I'll have to find that out. But let's take a look. I could probably figure out what these are. Let's do the swatches first. So here's our first one. I'm going to say that might be walnut. It could also be deep woods. I'm not sure. But the calligraphs, water-based, they are dual-sided, so you have a really nice broad brush tip. And then the other side has a fine brush tip. This one has a little spillage. Hold on. And it's much better for, ooh, this one's not happy. I think because a little bit of it spilled out. This one's a little dried out. I might let customer service know. I think because we had a little spillage. But this one I think is either, I think this is walnut. And then this is probably deep woods. Nope, that is, maybe that's conifer green. That is gorgeous though. I love that. So we have conifer green, no issues there. And the colors are also on the top there. So you can see those. Very pretty. Ooh, that's pretty. That's like a gray color. This could be alpine. Oh no, this could be glacier gray. I'm gonna have to do a deep search here. There's your fine tip. Green. That might be, maybe that's celery green, or maybe that's conifer. No, now I'm really confused. We've got 3 tones of green. So I think the dark green must be the deep woods. Then we have, this is celery. I think this is going to be celery. Okay. This might be raisin. Oh, that's very pretty. Then maybe this is glacier gray. Oh yeah, I love a good gray. Use it all the time. Very light. This is a really good color for putting in lines. Like if you need some structure on your pages. Love those. Ooh, that's pretty. This is probably frosty lilac. This also would be really pretty for putting lines in your journal or in your planner. Running out of room here. Ooh, that's pretty. That is probably, would that be alpine blue? I'm not sure, guys. That is very pretty. I'm gonna have to scrub up all my colors here. That looks like alpine blue. I'm gonna have to ask a couple questions. Maybe email customer service because my walnut is dried out a little bit on the narrow tip, and I don't have labels, so I'll need to ask them. Where can I find? I wonder. No, it couldn't have slipped out. I'll have to ask them where I can find the colors for these guys. So this is the Winterscapes collection. Very pretty. Glad to have those in my collection. The other item that I picked up that is a restock is the A5 notepad. I have raved about the notepads, and I know a lot of people have been glad for the ways that I've used them and shown them on the Archer and Olive channel, but also on Instagram, because you might have a bunch from like sub boxes and you don't know how to use them. And then some of you are mad because they're hard to get. And that is, I know that they know that Archer and Olive knows that the notepads are popular, and they do try to restock. And they did a restock in this release of the A5 pastel notepad, which I did not previously have. So I am very thrilled. And at the time of filming this, or at least the last time I checked, this was still in stock. So if you have been eyeing the notepads and you are a fan of pastel or you love spring, then this would be a great chance to get a notepad. So what I like about these is it's the same 160 GSM paper. You get a bunch of different colors. It's the A5 size. The pages are perforated, and you can use it for scrapping. You can rip pages up. If you have made a mistake in your journal and you don't know what to do, you could take the page out and pop in one of these as a replacement page. You can try different layouts. If you're in an A5 notebook, you could use this to make sample spreads. There's so many things you can do with this, and the notepads tend to be a little bit cheaper than the notebooks. And so it's just a good way to, I don't know, just use it as samples basically. And then you get to play with all of these fun colors. So I got the A5 notepad. Okay, let's, I'm gonna have to make lots of room once we get to the heirloom. Let's open up this guy. Actually, let's look at the stamps because I do need to come up with a plan for the stamps. There were 2 stamp sets in the spring launch. One of them was like Swan Pond, Beneath the Willows vibes. And I did swatch that, and I have that on my channel already. I'll link my preview of the spring release down in the description box. So click more twice down below and you'll be able to find links. There you can see what the Swan Pond stamp set looks like. I wanted the other one because I really am loving stamps right now, inks and stamps. And so I picked it up. This is the Mushroom Monarch acrylic stamp set. It comes with the stamps. It comes with a block and it comes with ink. So everything you need if you are new to stamping. And if you're not new to stamping, you're just going to have a lot of supplies. Like I have so many stamp blocks at this point, and stamp or ink pads, Arch and Olive ink pads. But what's cool about them in the boxes, as I struggle to get this open, is the design on the ink pads changes. Now, I'm not saying you need to collect all of the ink pads, but if you're someone that likes to display collections, this is going to be different than the other ink pads you might have gotten from other collections because it's got the lily pads on it, which is really pretty. So let's take a look at Mushroom Monarch so you guys can see what those stamps are going to look like. And you guys know I do like to stamp, and I guess we could, would it be weird to stamp on pink? I think it would. So let's stamp on green. So I'm going to, see, here's an example of a use of, for the notepads. I'm going to pull out a piece of the green, and I don't want to open up an ink pad that I already, or that is brand new. So let me see if I can find an open ink pad. Give me just a moment. I forgot that I had gotten stamps. Otherwise, I would have grabbed my my ink pad and my swatch book. Oh, while I'm here, just to show you, like, here's an example of a different design of the ink pad. But those aren't open either. So let me see if I can find an open. This one's open. Huh. And this one is also a different design. So here you can see how the designs change. So if you are new here, I've kind of figured out a way to cut corners on my swatching. I don't always get a perfect impression in my swatch book, but I'm not worried about a perfect impression in my swatch book. I just need to recall and remember what I have. And so anytime I get a new stamp set like this one, I try to rub it off, like prime it, you know, kind of get it gritty, dirty, whatever. And then I ink the whole thing while it's still on the acetate. And I lay one giant impression down. When I started my swatch book, I was doing individual stamps. And I was like, this is going to take forever to swatch every single ink pad. Or excuse me, every single stamp set. Because they usually come in sets when you're getting these clear cling stamps. So I was like, what if I was just really careful and inked every one of them and then laid the whole thing down, and it works. So if you're looking to start a swatch book, this would be the way to do it. You just have to be really careful. So we're gonna lay this guy down and just press and try to, you know, not neglect the ones in the middle. So you do run the risk of kind of doubling up the image, but I care more about all of them being swatched. So I'm okay with pressing a little bit more than normal. And then let's lift it up. Woo! So obviously I pushed a little bit too hard on this one. So we have the ink right in the middle, but that is a pretty good sampling of what the stamp set is going to look like. Love these. Now it's on green, so picture it's on white paper, and you could like color the frog in green. You could color in the mushroom red, like red dots. I love this little accent piece up here. So that is the Mushroom Monarch stamp set. Cute. Very glad to have it in my collection. And along those lines, I absolutely needed to have a Mushroom Monarch notebook as well. I'm going to do just a rough wipe down of this so I don't forget. And then I'll have to take it in the house with my baby wipes and put it in my actual swatch book. Yeah, because this is not the way to do it with a dry paper towel. Do as I say, not as I do. That is not a good way to clean a stamp, but that is what we're doing for now. So set this guy aside. Let's take a look at the first of the 2 new journals that I picked up. I can get my stamp set put away though. I have so much stuff on my desk. I'm very behind on filming and I'm just doing the best I can these days. Okay. So let's take a look at the Mushroom Monarch notebook. I got this in the pocket size. There are several releases, maybe almost once a month, Archer and Olive will come out with, or maybe every other month, they'll come out with some new items. But the 2 biggest releases of the year are the fall and the spring launches. So this is one of the biggest. And when they do these big launches in fall and spring, they come out with some bonus sizes. And that would be the pocket size and the heirloom size. And that's why I decided to make the investment in these. They also come out with lined versions of the collection in the A5 size. So if you are not a dot grid person, but you've been wanting to try Archer and Olive, they might be sold out at this point, but look and see if there are any A5 lined journals. They will do those once or twice a year, and the spring launch did have lined notebooks this year. So this is the Beneath the Willows, the Mushroom Monarch. Look at that packaging. It's so cute. So cute. Pull out the little drawer. And I did show in my previous video the Swan Pond and the Swallows. And now you guys get to see the Mushroom Monarch in the pocket size. This is a size that they come out with once or twice a year. And you guys are getting that pocket size in the spring release. So I had to get the pocket size. And ooh, this feels buttery. My gosh. Their vegan leather finishes, they really vary because they're calling this vegan leather and they're calling this vegan leather as well, but you can see that the finishes are different. This I think is buckram. Something's got to be different about this, but this to me is definitely more of the vegan leather style. Really pretty, rich olive green. And then you've got the debossed Mushroom Monarch. Got a little frog. Get the inside with the little mushrooms. And it's just a little pocket journal. Got our pocket in the back and our pen loop. And then our 2 bookmarks. One with the weighted ampersand. Pocket size is just great for on the go. I don't have a plan for this. I just wanted it because I thought it was cute. And if I, want to throw something in my purse, this is going to be the easiest thing to throw in my purse. And again, the feel of this, you guys know if you ordered this journal already and you have it in your hands, you guys are going to know what I'm talking about, where it just feels really smooth. Like if you're a textures person, this will feel really nice to just kind of stroke. Okay, so that is the Mushroom Monarch. And now this guy. Oh man. Okay. Let's talk about the heirloom notebook for several minutes. This is an investment. I really thought long and hard about getting the heirloom notebook. Every time an heirloom notebook comes out, I sit on it for like 20 minutes. I want to place my order, and I have it in my cart, but I'm just not sure because it is one of the most expensive items on their website. That's paper. Like I think some of their purses in the past have been a little bit higher, but this is their most expensive notebook. This and the watercolor paper journals. And so I always hesitate because I don't have a plan for it. And I don't want to spend the money if I don't know what I'm going to use it for. And in the last like 6 months, as I've just gotten into more of a creative headspace, I am realizing that I'm worth it. That I'm worth using a good notebook every day. And I just want to see what this feels like. I want to see what it's like to plan in it, to brain dump, to explore my creativity. So I got it because I just wanted to play with it. Do I have a plan for it? No. If you have an heirloom notebook, would you please let me know, what do you use it for? Because when you see this, you are definitely going to be thinking memory keeping, a guest book for a wedding, or a guest book for a funeral. I think guest book and I think of scrapbooking when I see this. I don't want to use it for that. Oh my gosh, that is really pretty. Of all the heirloom notebooks that they've put out over the years, I liked this one because of how simple and organic it was. I know they've done like a storybook heirloom before, and I almost got it, but it was so ornate that I thought it would be hard to use casually every day. And something about the design of this made me feel like it would be safe to be creative in for no reason other than for the sake of being creative. So the heirloom notebook is letter sized, but it's landscape by design. Although technically you probably could flip it this way if you wanted to. I mean, yeah, you can turn it any way you want. The cool thing about this is the other thing that made me pause with this heirloom specifically. This comes in dock red, blank, and lined. All 3 types of guts you can pick from. And I knew I was going to get this one, but I went back and forth for quite a while trying to decide if I wanted blank pages, lined pages, or dock red pages. So I'm going to open this up so you guys can see what the inside looks like. Very pretty. And here you can see it is big. And I went with the dock red. I went with the dock grid because I thought that the lines would be a hindrance to free form creativity. And I thought that the blank would be too blank for me, that I'd wish that I had a little bit more structure or like grounding on the page. And so I went with the dock grid, and it's really nice. The size will take some getting used to. But honestly, I have, Laurel Denise planner that is this kind of landscape mode, and it is not unlike that. So if you are a planner and you're using the Laurel Denise planner, the dimensions of this might actually not be that different for you. Obviously, the difference here is going to be the binding, but what's great about a book binding is you can flawlessly have your imagery or design or notes go all the way across without a break with discs or with a coil. So I really like this a lot, and especially here at my kind of art creative filming desk, it fits on my desk just fine. And let's just see how this would go this way. Yeah, I mean, I could see doing something this way, like, and then rotating it, or maybe starting this way and rotating it this way and going vertically. So if you want it to be letter kind of portrait, you absolutely can just rotate it and have it be the way that you want it to be. So that is the heirloom notebook. I am curious to know who has this and how you're using it. I think memory keeping and using it like a guest book is the most obvious. But for those of you that are using it in a creative way, love that we still have the pocket and we have the pen loop as well. And the design is on the back. I would love to know, how are you using it creatively? Let's take a look at this. Is it debossed? Kind of hard to tell if it's painted. I think it's kind of just painted because you can feel the texture, but it doesn't feel debossed the way that the Mushroom Monarch is debossed. And I love that kind of cottony, linen-y texture. Very pretty. Did I already say what they called it as far as what the material is? I think it might be buckram. Yeah, see, this to me feels more like that vintage camera as well. So it is buckram. And then let's take a look at the side. Yeah, just really pretty design. So that is the heirloom notebook, you guys. And that is everything that I picked up. So we've got the heirloom notebook, which will be fun to play with. I'll probably do some experimenting with this on my own and not share it for social media. I need some things to be just for me. Then we have the Mushroom Monarch notebook. We went back and got the Attic Treasures vintage camera that I'm going to use for pen swatches. Then we have the stamp set, Mushroom Monarch stamp set. We have the calligraphs from the Winterscapes collection. I did have receive the pens that were in the spring release, the calligraphs from that release, and that is in the video down in the description box as well. And then I also got the restock of the A5 notebook. So those are the items that I decided to pick up. What did you get from the spring release? Leave a comment down below. If you have any questions, leave those down below. And remember, whenever you shop at Archer and Olive, I do have an affiliate link in the description box, and Joyful 10 will save you 10% off of your purchase, including sale items like this guy. So don't forget to stack that discount code when you can. Come hang out with me over on Instagram. My handle is The Joyful Sojourn. And until next time, friend, God bless you. God bless you and keep you. Do something creative today. And I'll see you in my next video.